Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hey, Sam, I got to tell you, I do a lot of hockey and I do a lot of podcasts and everything, and you guys have one of the best podcasts anywhere. It's knowledgeable, it's fun, and you do it right. So thank you for your time and for having me on the show.
Happy Devils Monday. The boys are back in town. We are starting season 3, episode 1. I am your host, Sam Wu, here with Beer Baron back from hiatus, Shorts Guy back from hiatus, on a special Monday night of hashtag We Are the Fun. That's what we are. We are the fun. We went through focus group meetings. We went through all this stuff over the summer. We're back. We've got special announcements. We've got 2 Devils games going on. Not just one, but 2 Devils games going on. And we got some loser team called the Jets playing at the Meadowlands just for formality. I am your host, Sam Wu. This is going to be a special podcast because we are doing it on a Monday. I'm fired up. And oh, by the way, happy birthday. He's 31 today to Nick Villano, our good friend from the State of the Fan address from Puck and Pitchforks, powered by Fansided. We just want to wish him a happy birthday. We're back, guys. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast. Beer Baron is in the middle. Shorts Guy is to the right. I am to the left. Welcome, everybody. We are back, and already they're commenting on the Facebook Live.
Mike McLeod scored.
Just scored.
Yeah, I was gonna cut in with a breaking news that Mikey McLeod got a goal for Beer Baron to start off our season 3. However, I would like to personally open up season 3.
Yeah, boy.
With the beer.
I will try Poland Spring just because I am operating the board. This is actually our last podcast from the Bunker Studio before we move to a brand new facility where we do the shows. You know, the podcast is nearing almost 25,000 lifetime downloads with over 250,000 views. So we decided, now we've got a lot of special announcements. This is our little stall tactic because we got 2 games going on right now, and we can't give you the play-by-play. Otherwise, Hugh Weber's going to send us a cease and desist letter. Hey guys, you better knock it off, or else we're going to kick you off the air. Although I'm seeing 2 games being streamed illegally in various places on the internet. I'm not going to,
you got to do what you got to do, man. Come on.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I mean,
you got to do what you got to do to get by.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of Devils fans. That's all. Hey, we don't mean harm.
We just want to watch our team. That's all we want to do is watch our team.
Yeah, hey, big shout out to Cape May Brewery because this is Devil's Reach. If you've never had this one, I got to figure out where my camera is. Devil's Reach. I thought it was appropriate beer. Oh, it's delicious.
Wow.
Delicious.
Wow.
Jersey brewed.
I was just down there real quick on yesterday afternoon, actually. Stopped in there, picked up some beer. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we've got some big announcements. I don't even know where to even start, but the studio is moving. We are, and also we invested. Now, we talked about I don't know. I think Beer Baron is doing some parental stuff over there, but we talked about, all of last season 2, about this $35 million jet that we want to take across the country and with our fans and this and that. So we're selling t-shirts again, but this is the kicker. We invested in a mobile studio where we can take the show on the road, literally.
Yes,
so we got some new stuff, some new toys to play with for this podcast. And should we let a little bit of the cat out of the bag about where we're going to be with this mobile studio? Do you think is that a good segue, or should I save it to
that's a nice little segue? But save it for the end. Keep them in suspense.
Keep them in suspense. Yeah, keep them in suspense. Yeah, let's wait for everybody to get out of the out of Montreal or New Jersey. We got 2 games going on now. I do have a bone to pick with ESPN. When I was looking at the live box score, I don't even see Jack Hughes anywhere, but I see all over Twitter that he had a goal and assist in the game. I believe he's playing at the Prudential Center at the versus the Boston Bruins. So either they didn't now he's in there. After I say that, now I see him on there. I'm not an idiot, people. I think he just wasn't in the I don't think he was in the database because Gusev wasn't on the list. But now it's showing on my computer screen. ESPN, now I have another bone to pick with you. You're listening to this podcast and embarrassing me. So you know what? Screw you. Anyway.
I gotta agree with Matt. He just posted never use ESPN for hockey news or scores. It's true because they haven't liked hockey in a long time.
That's very true.
That's true.
That's very true. I will say this though, with the split squad, Wayne Simmons did not play today. A lower body issue going on. Don't freak out though. I don't think it's a big deal. I know a lot of people were kind of like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, here it goes. He's gonna get hurt and blah 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 blah. But I just think it's maintenance stuff. I wouldn't worry about it. In case you're wondering.
Yeah, plus it's preseason, getting back into the swing of things. I know these guys come into preseason a lot in a much better shape than they did, even 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, especially. So, it could just be soreness that, he picked up, getting back to the swing of full speed hockey or 3/4 speed hockey. So, yeah, nothing to be, I can't assume it's anything big to be worried about. So,
yeah, and it's just I don't know about you boys, but I'm so excited just to have hockey season back. I haven't been it's been weird like being off all summer. Thanks to Sam and Nick Villano for holding the fort down for the entire summer, basically for us. But
absolutely.
I haven't been this excited about the opening of a season in a very, very, very long time. Just like the acquisitions of all the different players, Gustav, Subban, it seemed like every other day we had some kind of breaking news going on. Jack Hughes, Jack News and the Hughes. Huey Lewis in the news.
Is that what you were going for? I hope so.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't. Just pondered up into my brain. But all that being said, yeah, I'm so excited. I can't even talk anymore. I'm so excited that this is a hopeful, bright season. And I wanted to ask you a question. You have Schneider, you have Blackwood coming into it. Both of them saying that they feel, in great shape. They're both being very supportive. How do you think this is going to play out for the entire season? How do you think this is going to work out between the two of them?
I think as of right now, it's still Snyder's net to lose. And I think Blackwood, if he can continue with the trajectory which he's going, can become that heir apparent to when Corey Schneider's contract is over. And there always is the potential for let's say Blackwood just completely steals the show, looking for a possibility of a trade for Schneider. That's always there. And we saw a sample of what Blackwood could do last year. And I hope it's what he is going to do. Sometimes with these young goalies, they'll come up and they'll start real hot and then kind of peter off a little bit. I think knowing that, Snyder's there, the established veteran, if Blackwood is smart, he'll take the time to learn from him and to watch what he does and adapt where he needs to with his game. But having that good kid behind you should hopefully push Schneider to keep his game up. And let's face it, we've seen Schneider over the last couple of years could be a little bit injury prone. So at any possible time, Blackwood's got to be ready to go in. But
true.
To kind of go all the way back to where I started, I still think it's Snyder's net to lose. And if that pushes Blackwood to steal it, then so be it. You want your best playing goalie in net.
Exactly, which would be a win-win situation. If he pushes him to the point where he takes it over and he's now the number one goalie and Schneider is playing well, but Blackwood's just playing better, that's the best case scenario. Then you have a 1A, 1B type of situation where if somebody starts to cool off, you can bring somebody else in. I mean, you don't want to play with them too much where you want them to be in a rhythm. As a goaltender, you say this often where it's nice to get into a rhythm. It's nice to get into like the feel of the game where it's not fun to bounce in and out of the lineup where you're starting one night, you're not starting, you're starting another night. So you can imagine that they're going to ride the hot hand. But I don't picture it being like a Brodeur type of situation where you have somebody starting 35 games in a row and then you jump in for one or two.
Yeah, no, and they may also be looking to manage, and I have no inside information on this, so this is just kind of a possibility of a thought, but they may look to manage Schneider a little bit, knowing what has happened in the past, and maybe give Blackwood more games based on past injuries, or if a little bit of soreness pops up, where Schneider gets the night off, or, they may even give him that flexibility to say, let Blackwood play. I want to take a night off and kind of rest. So that flexibility may be there, and that, that plan may be in place for this season. So, we'll see. I don't even know. I did not get a chance to see. I know Schneider was playing at home in Jersey. Was Blackwood backing him up, or was Blackwood up in Montreal?
I'd have to double check because I glanced over it really quick. It's funny because my good man Will Bauman, he just put up. You want competition with your players, but I don't know about goalies. And you do want competition. I kind of disagree with that because you do want competition between your two goalies because, like you said before, the best case scenario is you have Blackwood pushing Schneider to be better because he could lose his job. And you know what? Eric says then you'd have a $6 million backup. That's the roll of the dice that you take. If Schneider becomes your backup because Blackwood is playing that well, then hey, guess what? Oh well, you got a $6 million backup. But that just means that Blackwood is playing either lights out. Let's hope it's not the situation where Schneider is playing so bad that you have to, bring in Blackwood. you hope for obviously the optimistic point of view of this, that they're both pushing each other, they're both being positive. It's not a cancerous situation where you have kind of like that Luongo Schneider situation in Vancouver, where it seemed like Luongo was kind of not happy about having Schneider in there. You want somebody where they're going to gel together, they're going to be supportive of each other, essentially.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And competition is good for goaltenders because it's going to push you. You want that competition because you want to get the best out of any of your players in your team, and that competition is also going to push them to be the best they can. And yeah, so long as it doesn't become toxic or they start disliking each other. One of the best goalie duos that I've coached in the last couple of years was they were a senior and a sophomore, and they became very close off the ice, which helped them on the ice. And they would push each other to do better. And that's really what you want. You want a duo that is going to get along and be competitive with each other because, these guys are competitors. They're professionals. You want to have them knowing that you have a spot on the team, but if there's someone better, we may throw someone else in. So
very true.
And I just looked it up. Blackwood's in Montreal and Snyder is at home. So they are split up. Which is, giving them both a shot to play, which is great. Even though, I know they're probably going to, even with the only game that was on the television, Islanders and Flyers, they've pulled, they switched their goalies halfway through. So in the midst of getting set up, I did not get to see much of the second part of the preseason games. So unfortunately, I don't know if they were switched out or not yet. So hopefully we'll be able to check that out in a little bit.
Yeah. So one of the other things too is I want to ask everybody that's watching live, what do you think was your favorite thing about this offseason? Like we said before, like there's so many amazing things that happened with this team. I can't tell you how excited that I am about PK Subban. Just his personality, just everything about him. And I've been following it so close. I think that might be my favorite thing. Like I'm so excited about Jack Hughes and what he can become and his potential. But I can't tell you. I think I'm honestly the most excited about seeing PK Subban in a Devils jersey. And I'm kind of curious. I want to see what everybody out there. What is your favorite thing about this offseason? What do you think you're the most hyped about going into the season? And I'll turn that question to you. What do you think?
All right, I know. I'm going to agree with you on getting Subban, and he's brought a personality to the Devils in which we haven't had one in a. I would say the closest that we had to a personality was Kovalchuk, even though he didn't really have a personality. But we
I don't know what kind of personality that was.
It was at least a big name. But having PK Subban as that big personality is pretty cool, and still a little. It's still getting used to that. I'm not used to having that type of personality on a team, but I'm going to kind of go a little bit off out in left field here. I'm excited for the fact that the Hughes-Kakko rivalry will bring the Devils-Rangers rivalry to a whole new level. And I'm already seeing it with my friends and teammates who are Ranger fans, and everyone's excited, and the trash talk is just going to roll on until we know definitively, if we ever find out definitively who's better. This is going to be a whole new rivalry. This is going to be a whole new day and age in the Devils-Rangers rivalry. I'm excited for that because I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, and both teams loading up over the summer, and it was kind of like an arms race of who's going to get. They got Fox, and then they got Panarin, and then they get Kakko, and then the Devils getting all the pieces that we got between Gusev, which was pretty amazing to see because that was like such a push from the Devils fans, especially on Twitter. There was such a push to get Gusev, and by all counts, this guy is going to be a step in the lineup, make an impact kind of player. Yep. The Rangers get a bunch of guys that are going to be stepping in the lineup, kind of impact type of players. They get Trouba too. It's just crazy because Last year, you look at the two teams, and it was terrible. It was tank fest. You know, it was like who could suck worse, and it was horrible to watch. Then, like even like a Devils Rangers game, like you would go to a Devils Rangers game, and you'd sit next to a Rangers fan, and you'd be like, I don't even want to yell at you. Like this sucks so bad.
You had nothing to banter about because everyone. Well, there was the game where everyone just was chanting like what we suck or something like that. It was just
horrible.
That
horrible.
That was that was a whole new low to actually be on the same page with the Ranger fans. So I'm excited for that rivalry to come back big time. And it's already started in the off season. And just the hope is that we come out on top.
Yeah, it goes from like sitting next to a Rangers fan and being like, I just hate your face. Like I hate your jersey, I hate your face. Now it's like I hate everything about you and I hate your team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's starting. I run into Ranger fans recently. I have people I haven't seen in years. They're starting to get a little. Yeah, they're
talking already.
They're
ready,
cocky,
yes.
But they feel like they're the underdog because they did get Kakko. And they're like, I don't know if the Devils picked the right guy. And it's like, come on.
Oh, give me a break.
I mean, you can't go wrong with both players. But you know what? You got to go with Jack Hughes.
But that's the thing is, you look at it from a hockey talent wise. What pisses me off more than anything in the world is when you see somebody say, I think McAvoy just got a deal. And they're like, he was selected 2 players after McLeod. And it's like, dude, you could do that with anybody. You could be like Martin St. Louis. He was an undrafted or like 100th round or whatever the hell he was. Like you could literally sit there and name like every team that like look at like if I was a Calgary fan, we got Trevor Kidd, Martin Brodeur. Like give me a break. It drives me.
And they traded up to get Trevor Kidd. Traded up down whatever. They wanted him before Brodeur. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, it worked out in our favor. But I mean, and it was,
it worked out in our favor big time.
You're going to see that up and down the draft, and time will tell what's going to happen with Hughes and Kakko, and I just don't think you could have missed with either one, and it just sucked.
No,
it's just like the whole Nico and Nolan thing. It sucked to see that the Flyers had that number 2 pick because you were like, oh God, if one works out and the other one doesn't.
We got that pick right because Nolan Patrick did not work out, and he's already starting the season on the injured list. He's already out for a little while, and he had injuries last year too. So we won that one, and that's where I trust the Devils scouting staff. They did right in that draft, and what was supposed to be a not a very deep draft, not a very good draft. So something just tells me that they're really good at doing what they do because they got that one right, and I trust them on this one as well.
Yeah, well, what do you guys think of Pavel Zacha and that 3-day, 2-day thing?
I love
because
you know
what? I wish I had that graphic. We put up that graphic.
Listen,
Ray
Shero fits into the New Jersey Devils. If The Sopranos was still on TV, he could be a recurring character. Just a guy that shows up. It stays MF and F'ers, like F this guy and F that guy. If he wants some business, he can go F himself. He is so perfect for this team. He is so Jersey.
Let me read part of the quote. It says, "I don't give a if he signs with the KHL or if he signs with King Brampton. I don't give a where we hold his rights."
Hey, what's up,
there?
You just wanted to use that button, Sam.
That button's been sitting there for the last 5 months. And then when I was trying to do this thing with Nick Villano on the State of the Fan address, it was kind of like, I didn't hit, of course, I mess up the board all the time. But anyway, so, Ray Shero has really won the respect of Devils fans. And then I saw something with Lou Lamoriello in the news, but this is a different type of news. This is kind of odd news that somehow
somebody whacked.
Fetisov, Slav Fetisov had a meeting or talked to Lou Lamoriello about saving the environment, and now all of a sudden,
right.
yeah, and then
If
all of a
anybody's gonna
sudden,
do it,
like,
Luke can do it.
look, yeah, if anybody could, solve the environment, it's probably Lou, But yeah, so again, having
Makes trees where
having
pies
Lou
and stuff.
Lamoriello throwing jelly on the wall in the locker room, down in Philadelphia,
Organic
all these
jelly.
legendary story, or getting a restraining order, on those referees or whatever with the Jim Schonfeld, all these legendary stories. Ray Shero is now fitting in just perfectly. And when I saw the, the censored, and then I saw other different versions that people, I don't know if he said, the F word or whatever, but it was pretty funny, and it just gets you going.
Listen, my thing about Ray Shero is not only about that, like the way the guy talks, because there's been other interviews and stuff like that and other things that he said where he was like, yeah, F this and F that. And he just kind of like talks off the cuff, and it's not politically correct sometimes, which is totally what what I can appreciate and what we don't do on this show. But as soon as the cameras go off, the F-bombs start flying. But my point is, like, he not just that, it's not just his personality, it's the fact that he's delivering. You know what I mean? Like, you have some GMs that sit back on their hands and they kind of like promise this and promise this and promise this, and then nothing comes to fruition. With him, it's like he starts talking about things and he's like, you know what, this team, we need to start bringing in more talent. We need to start doing this. We need to start doing that. And then all of a sudden, boom, he starts bringing things in, starts making things happen. We got super, super lucky that we got the first overall pick twice under his tutelage. But I mean, at the same time, look at all the other things that he's been able to do.
Well, hey guys,
and the other,
just want to interrupt here. Facebook Live is starting to hum a little bit. I think people are starting to file in as these games are coming to a close. But I also want to give a couple shout outs. I don't know if I ever sent you guys the emails. But we've been getting emails from the land down under, New Zealand, the UK. We have somebody that serves in the military for the Norwegian Army from Norway, writing us. And this is all happening in the past couple weeks. That we're getting these emails and private messages, and we just want to. Say hello to everybody that are overseas, that are New Jersey Devils fans. We weren't expecting that, but who cares? We're all friends here, and we got invited out to places out in Europe. So maybe we'll have to take the mobile studio onto that plane. First, we got to get the private jet. You got to get the private jet, and then we got to go over
economy.
there.
I don't care. I will take economy. We'll do a live podcast from overseas. Yeah, make that happen.
We also have fans in India as well, Germany, Austria, Sweden, Finland, Switzerland, and Kenya. We have Devils fans in Kenya. Yeah,
that's right,
or these demographics are just suggesting that Devils fans go to Kenya
worldwide
for vacation or whatever. But hey, we're worldwide.
Hey, exactly. I'll go to Kenya. I'll rock in Kenya. Whatever. Kenya's a cool place.
Absolutely. Can we get an update on the score? We got Devils leading 3-2 with 36 seconds left. I see the updated, and it's still 2-2 tie up in Montreal, I believe. Still in the third period.
No, it's 3-3 at home and away.
Those goals
it's 2-2.
Oh, wow.
It's 2-2. Devils. Yeah, it's 2-2 away. That bum McLeod scored.
Yeah, buddy. Put that tape job. Putting that tape job to use.
That tape job. You just gave me another nightmare. Yeah, Hughes, Bratt, and Carrick have scored for us.
Hey, Connor Carrick. There you go. God bless Connor Carrick. That man is a humanitarian for real. I'm not joking around. All jokes aside, Connor Carrick has been doing some pretty amazing things out there on social media. And even if he doesn't make the team as a regular, that dude is a very solid person to have in your organization. And I'm proud to have that guy in our crew. in our
Absolutely.
crew, on our team.
Hey,
In
I'll-
all seriousness.
Any good human being is good for your team because that's great. That's just a great presence in the community, and I think the Devils want to try to build their presence in the community as well. So that's always a positive. And we're tied in both games, so that's not awful, But it's the first preseason game too, so I'll take it.
Nick says I'm gonna edit this, but Nick says they're beating the crap out of each other in Montreal. See, this is the only downside. Like right now, I wish I could be watching the games, but this just gets me so excited. The season's right around the corner, and you know what that means, right?
Is.
You get into just like some real hockey. Last year was like we got that 4-game winning streak at the beginning of the year. We were all jacked up. We're like, hey man, all right, here we go. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of like took a giant dump, turned into a garbage fire. But hey, we got Jack Hughes out of it, so who cares?
We did get Jack Hughes.
And
The
then the
season
PK
began
Subban
with a
thing
bang.
happened.
It's like
Yeah.
like going on a date, and then you're like, oh, this girl is terrible. And then you're like, but hey, now I'm best friends with her friend over there, so we play hockey. All right. Something weird like that. It's a weird analogy.
That's a very weird analogy.
I got this cat out of the deal. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds like Rodney Dangerfield. Anyways. Listen, it's the first podcast of the season, all right?
It is. We're allowed to have fun.
Yeah. We're not into serious hockey yet. But I'll
Hey,
tell you
Sam.
this.
Hold on. Sam, Beer Baron.
All
Why are we allowed to have fun? Can anyone answer that question?
We are the fun.
Because we are the fun.
Yeah, we're
That's
hashtag we are the fun. Yeah.
We are the fun.
we can bring real fans' point of view.
Yeah.
You sit
Yep.
down. We'll have a serious conversation about everything, but then we are the fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
Devils
taking
win an
the
OT.
show on the road. We're taking the show on the road. Should
Which
we
game
even
did
announce-
we will in a second. Which game did we win in OT?
I don't know. Matt on Facebook Live just said we won an OT.
Devils win in
In all
OT.
caps.
Matt,
Very excited.
let us know which game the Devils won in OT. Please.
Yeah, I'm refreshing right now.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Bruins
Yeah.
game, the home game.
Wow. Now,
All right.
now in terms of the goal song, I
Thanks,
think they're
Matt.
still playing Howl, right? Are they still
Hey,
playing?
no. No, they mixed it up. They also did Hip Hop Hooray, and I'm a huge supporter of them choosing Hip Hop Hooray. Hip Hop Hooray. Oh.
You know,
it will-
that's the beauty of preseason is they can try them all out and see which ones get, the bigger pop. But at the same time, it's preseason. Not many people are there.
Did you guys have any? Did you guys have any songs in
People are
particular?
jacked up.
Did you guys have any songs in particular that you wanted?
You go first, Sam. What song did you want? And then I have a real hockey question after this.
I think House of Pain, Jump Around. It wouldn't be too bad.
No, because that's Boston. That's Boston.
Is that Boston?
That's got Boston written all over it.
Really?
It's like, yeah, because
Jack
happened?
Hughes had the
Hughes,
overtime
OT
goal
with
against
2
Bruins.
goals.
Wow.
2 goals. I love
And
it.
Naughty by Nature and Will Bauman, who was his best man, he's a good man. Naughty by Nature is from Jersey, so that makes it even better. I know Gaslight is from Jersey too, but
Mhm.
What about Lords of the
Let's
Underground,
some-
Chief Rocka? They're from Newark.
that's true. That's true.
I'll just blast that in my car when I go to
Listen,
games.
man.
Chief Rocka with the windows down, with my
4-3.
tinted windows.
Jack Hughes with 2 goals. That's Gusev with a beautiful assist. Matt, you're our play-by-play for the Boston game.
Sweet.
Matt, keep us
I'll-
posted on what's
I'll
going on in
take that.
Montreal.
Sweet. Yeah, that's definitely a good sign to see Jack Hughes just jumping right in like that. I know it's preseason, but still, it's just good to see him get, put some goals in early in the preseason. Hopefully, just build off that and just, hit the ground running. Come
Do you know what?
October 4th.
You know what gave me a lot of laughs was during the prospect tournament. Like Devils fans, I think they were down 6-0 or something like that, and Devils fans were just like using that one game to kind of like decide how our seasons go. One throwaway game in freaking Buffalo, and suddenly like the Devil season is completely over. It's like, stop it, folks, stop it. Although it was kind of funny though.
Habs just scored. They took the lead with like 2:30 left. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matt.
Well, you know what I say.
Though, the Devils fans are in such shock after last season and traumatized by what we saw. You'd think they'd be used to that, but it's a prospect game. You know, these are the guys that have to prove whether or not they belong.
Yeah, these guys
like
haven't even played with it. They never played with each other on a team before. They were put together in like 3 days, and it's like, and with the exception of prospect camp, it's like, oh my God, Jack Hughes, what's wrong with him? He hasn't scored a point yet.
By the way, okay, so to go back to the goal song real quick, Will just said, I like any song that you can form fit, you suck into it. So that's a good point. So if you do hip hop hooray, ho, you suck, hey, ho, I guess you can figure it out, but
you can figure it out. The timing's got to be figured out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is New Jersey. We found ways to say you suck and with anything after they changed the Hey song.
And what was the other song? The Queen song? Did that make the top 3?
Well, yes, it did. Yes, it did. Which it is also one of the that song was used in Shaun of the Dead with one of the greatest scenes in any movie when they're starting to hit the dude with the pool cues, and they do it to the beat. Anyways, if you know Shaun of the Dead, you like that. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you can go cram it.
You know, I was hoping that we would get a song like, because we're in the woo era. We're in the woo era right now of just woos. Everyone's wooing. There are a lot of songs that have woo in it, like Brown Sugar, Rolling Stones. I don't know, Wu-Tang Clan. I have no idea. Just drew a blank. Just drew a blank. Sorry. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Wait, are we like podcast. The Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I speaking of Wu-Tang Clan and all that kind of stuff, I cannot wait for the season to start. I cannot wait for.
We're talking about the most random stuff right now because we can't wait for the season to start.
Yeah.
Should we like, since we're freestyling tonight, should we announce our first live event?
Thank you.
Let's do it, Sam. Let's announce it.
Thank you, Nick.
Let's announce our first live event. Remember, for those that are joining in after the game, now that the games are over, we invested some dollars in a mobile studio so we can take the podcast on the road. So we have partnered up with PJ Ryan's at the Rock. PJ Ryan's at the Rock. And we'll be there for the season opener for a live pregame podcast.
Look at the
on
guns
Friday,
on
October 4th. Oh, I know. And look at my gut. I put on some weight over the summer too, But yeah, that was
a couple of fat
after
guys and then their shorts guy all ripped out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he did a couple curls before that picture. He was just doing some weights.
Yeah, and I had 12-ounce curls maybe.
And I had some French fries and cotton candy and some soda, some pop beforehand. But anyway, so we're gonna be on the hashtag We Are the Fun tour, and our first stop is PJ Ryan's, which is across the street from the Rock, 35 Edison Place. We'll be at the upstairs bar, second level. We got the whole level to ourselves with our fans. We hope that you guys can make it there because we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a pregame podcast. I may dress up in a costume. I don't know.
Hey,
but we're able to do it there. Go ahead.
I have a special request. I was hoping that we could interview my parents on that one.
Okay.
My parents who are longtime season ticket holders. My mom and I were talking about it the other day, and she goes, "Hey, maybe I can go on your podcast." And I was like, "Sure, Ma, why not? We come on a podcast and say hello." Sure,
yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And
so we'll get a
keep
little
it family friendly.
For
Yeah, I'll
those
make sure-
and,
They do.
and for those that don't know, this is our first ever pregame podcast in Newark. We've never had a pregame location before a Devils game, and now here we have one for opening night. So everyone who's going to opening night that's listening, if you have friends that are going, if you know people going, if you meet people on the street walking to the bars, tell them all to go to PJ Ryan's and to join us for a party. We are the fun. We're going to have a blast. We're going to do a pregame podcast. I'm excited for opening night, not just for the game, but because we get our first opportunity to have a podcast event within 25 feet of the Rock, which to me is fantastic.
Of Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, dude, I'm
Yeah, right.
I'm super excited about this opening night, a live podcast where we're going to be able to do the podcast and then march across the street and watch a game with everybody and enjoy all the festivities. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say enjoy a Devils win that night.
Yep.
But
I'll join you.
it's going to be crazy because it is just like we said in the beginning of the show. This is the first time that I can remember. I haven't been able to go to a lot of openings. I think the last 3 years I missed the opening game because you have a family, can't have, obligations. But I haven't been this excited, not just to go to a game, just everything about the season, everything about the off season leading up to this point. And I know a lot of people will say we just need Taylor Hall to sign, and then that's the icing on the cake. But you know what? Right now, I'll eat a cake without icing. Because this is going to be one hell of a season, I'll tell you that. And this is one hell of a way to kick it off too.
So, should we get to the back-to-back live events that Shorts Guy scheduled us?
Absolutely.
All right, so here's the second half of that. So October 4th, we're going to be at PJ Ryan's, right? Right for the home opener, and the Devils are away in Buffalo. So Saturday, we have live pregame podcast and viewing party at the Grasshopper off the green. New Jersey versus Buffalo. We're going to do a pregame podcast and viewing party. Oh, and we brought our two friends, Bruce Driver and Grant Marshall, will be hanging out with us. So, and also on top of everything else, talk about hashtag we are the fun. We brought a DJ to our live events. We have a DJ now that will play the goal song we really want to play and play music during the commercials. It's going to be fun. Bring your wives, bring your girlfriends, bring your boyfriends, bring your dog. Yeah, well, I don't know if you can bring your dog, but if you have, a reason to have a dog, like a service dog, yeah, a comfort dog, whatever, bring everybody, because it's not too often you have one Stanley Cup champion, but you have two Stanley Cup champions in Morristown, plenty of parking. I know that the posters are going up tomorrow night, Shorts Guy. That's my telepathic communication to you. We better meet up because I got the posters for you to hang up.
No, I know. We'll talk off air about that.
We're going to be in Morristown, October 5th. Devils' first road games. We're going to work on some food specials. The owners of PJ Ryan's and Grasshopper in Morristown have partnered up with us because they just like Devils fans. They love Devils fans. They love, we're essentially three guys at a bar, and they want us to be three guys at a bar, their bar, but bring our friends with us. So it should be a great event. Our events, it's going to be, let me put up the graph again. It's a hashtag we are the fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's not like the Meadowlands where it's a no fun zone. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Fun zone.
Yeah, this will be fun. If you are kind of person that doesn't have any fun, you leave that no fun at the door. You're going to come inside into Let's Go Devils podcast country, and you're going to have a lot of fun. I mean, totally. You've got two Stanley Cup champions Bruce Driver and Grant Marshall there. But also, we've got a DJ. And on top of that, there are notable guests that are tentatively going to be coming, but we can't reveal that. Reason why is because they're tentatively scheduled there. We just haven't had 100% confirmation.
One might be LL Cool J. You never know.
You never know.
You won't know until you show up. He might be showing his abs. Just watch out.
Yeah.
Might be an LL Cool J ab party. Who knows?
Hold on. Stop. Time out. To respond to Matt's comment, no, Morristown is not Central Jersey. The question is whether or not Central Jersey exists, but Morristown is certainly not Central Jersey.
Morristown is Taylor Ham country, baby. It's Taylor Ham country.
Well, don't
it's
open
nothing
up that.
but
Don't
Taylor
open
Ham.
up that debate. That debate. First of all, can we put that to bed for like last year? That was like it was funny, and then it just becomes annoying because people are the pork rolls. It's the name of the thing. It's like shut up. It's delicious. It was actually, and just eat it and put it in your face hole, and then just shut up.
Well, it was actually good. It was actually trying to dying down, but then Nick Villano brought it up, and then Chris Westcott of the New Jersey Devils, who we interviewed on the State of the Fan address, brought it up, and then he started bringing it up on Twitter, and it's like, all right, you know what, Beer Baron, I'll tone it down. I will tone it down with the Taylor Ham and the pork roll and all that kind of stuff. We should really get, off to a fresh start. DJ Shelley actually gave us some thumbs up. Yep, gave us some thumbs up.
If I wish we had cool sound effects every time you said her name, like DJ Shelley, and like all these lights start flashing.
Hey, I got one of these.
That's the only thing I
have.
have.
When you say, "Hey, where's the beef?" That's like one hell of a.
I got one on my phone, but that's about it. We're gonna have to get Sam to get a sound effect for a horn.
Yeah,
DJs are like fog machines and all these other things, and lights and lasers. Sam's like DJ Shelley, where's the beef? Sorry, DJ Shelley. That's the budget we're working with.
And of course, DJ Shelley, if you're watching. If for the hashtag We Are the Fun, we also have got organ music for DJ Shelley to play. Rangers suck.
All right.
Yeah, we got to get more. We got to get more sound bites and clips for the podcast. I'll work on that this week.
All right, that works.
Hey Matt, just to give you a heads up, Matt Junio, I guess that's how you say it. We lost up in Montreal. That's the heads up. It was 4-2 final. Who cares what you call it? Goes great with egg and cheese. Thank you, Robert. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Jesus, guys, who cares if it's pork? Who cares if it's called like Moon Rocks? Just eat it. It's delicious.
No, let's not go that far.
Fantastic.
It has a name.
It has a name, but you could call it whatever you want to call it. I don't care at this point. I think I got over it like a while ago when people were going back and forth, and it became one of those like, seriously, who cares? Just shut up and eat it. Who cares?
It's guys, one of those classic Jersey arguments.
Guys, I'm gonna have to find another source. I actually ordered a goose costume for opening night. Dress up like a goose. But I got an email like 3 days ago from eBay because I didn't realize it was coming from China. It's not going to be here till like.
Hey, thanks for joining, Gary.
End of October. I think. Are there any Halloween stores or whatever? I'd like to wear a goose costume in honor of Nikita Gusev because that guy is a cool guy, man. He's like a mystery. He's a mystery.
Hold on. I gotta call someone out. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We got to come back to that real quick. Okay. I have to call out Rob Wujahauji.
Wow, you really killed that one.
He's my cousin, so I can do that. So,
cool.
Yeah, the official studio is in the works still. Yes, it's been 3 years, but I get it. Tell your wife I said happy birthday.
Well,
hey, that window behind you is a classic backdrop.
Exactly. It's become kind of like my thing, man. Sam's got blinds on his. right?
Well,
Nobody gives a crap
wait,
about Sam's
guys.
background.
For those that's just joining in, for those that are just joining in, this is our last podcast from the Bunker Studios. Although you guys are doing it from your homes, I'm hoping that these backdrops maybe change a little bit, get a little decorative, this and that. Which, by the way, Beer
Have
Baron,
you not seen my backdrop? Have you not seen it? It's the
Actually,
most devil's
Shorts guy-
backdrop of the three of us.
You know what?
That is
Shorts
very
guy
true.
actually has a great backdrop.
It's been the same backdrop for the last 3 years.
I neglected to get Beer Baron that 75-foot Ethernet cable so he could.
Yeah, see, that's
plug
the
that
problem.
into
Once I get a 1,000-foot cable and I can go into my little man cave, then I'll be fine. I'll set it up. I have a little spot that I'm gonna put some curtains up and make it look more like a podcast area than me sitting in front of a beautiful bay window.
So are we saying it's Sam's fault?
Oh, 100%. 3 years. 3 years.
It isn't my fault. It isn't my fault. It was somebody else's fault. Anyway, sorry.
You know, I've never seen that movie, Titanic. Never once.
Really?
We saw it last night. We saw it too.
Was it good?
I know we're going way off the rails now.
Yeah, but hey, it's first night back. We're getting back into the swing of things.
Joe Stanslow
Yeah.
has a question. Beer Baron in
Our
the
boy,
Facebook
that's our
Live.
boy. Is he pumped
Beer
about Mikey
Baron.
McLeod like I am?
Well,
Hey,
it involves
you know
Mikey
what?
McLeod.
You know what? Mikey McLeod's success is our success. We have nothing against Mikey McLeod. Now we're changing the tune. If we're going to change the tune about, Taylor Ham and Porkwell, I'll change my tune on Mikey McLeod. His success is our success.
Yeah.
If his trade value increases, it just only bodes well for the New Jersey Devils.
Whatever. If you get something good for it, then you get something good for it.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those idiots that where I'm like, hey, listen, the guy with the bad tape job who put up 2 goals in like 67 games. Like if you can get something back for him that's going to be worth value, yeah, you trade him away. Who gives a crap? Like, make the team better and win a Stanley Cup. That's what we're in the business for, right?
Oh, I got this. Matt
Now, most of those
Junio.
connections are gone.
Sam Wu, can your Mets, LOL Mets, via urinating trees still make the playoffs wildcard? You know what? This is how miracles
Who said
happen,
that?
baby.
What happened?
Oh yeah.
Who said peeing on a
This is how
tree?
miracles happen. This is how miracles happen. It will happen. Just the Cubs have to lose four games more. Anyway, so enough of baseball. So
We have to go back to Joe's question. It was Beer Baron.
Oh,
Are you
sure,
enjoying Mikey McLeod's preseason?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do
There
you
you
want
go.
me to say? Yes or no? Yeah, that's a simple question and a simple answer. Yes, Joe, I love you, buddy, but what do you think I was going to say? Of course I do. He's already put up some numbers. He's got a goal and assist in the first game of the preseason. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Mikey McLeod. I feel like he's going to have a breakout year. 40-goal year. Mikey McLeod.
For us or Binghamton?
Probably bingo, probably. But honestly, though,
Hey.
the real question is where a lot of these guys are going to find a place, because a lot of the new guys that have come in, with Gusev coming in, I know a lot of people are freaking out. Ty Smith had a not such a fantastic, or like he was a shining star in that competition up in Buffalo, but like Sam said before, like these are guys that are thrown together last minute, and it's kind of like, hey, let's go on the ice. Hey, you got a different team to play. Good luck.
Ty
Yeah.
Smith is struggling. Are we sure he's that good?
It drives me crazy. It's like, Jesus,
Yeah.
guys, like you.
Melissa
no,
Dawn.
Hey,
Dawn
Melissa.
is good. Melissa's back for season 3. You know Melissa Dawn. When she gets into it, she gets things done.
She does.
She's the most underrated, unappreciated person on the Let's Go Devils podcast. But honestly, Melissa is awesome. She does a lot of stuff for us that behind the scenes that nobody notices but us, and things don't happen without Melissa. And sometimes during the podcast, if I fade out to Beer Baron and Shorts Guy, I have my mic muted, and I'm usually on the phone with Melissa. I'm like, Melissa, give me a power play goal. We're down 3-2. How did you think that comeback happened in overtime with Jack Hughes? I mean, this is what happened earlier in the podcast. I switched over to Beer Baron and Shorts Guy. They were talking up a storm, but I had my mic on mute, and I'm like, Melissa, tell Jack Hughes to bring me a power play goal, game-winning goal in overtime. Let's settle this and split the games. She gets on the horn. She got Jack Hughes to score. We're done. She always gets done. Boom. So that's Melissa Dawn, and she's also the administrator of Devils Singles Facebook group. Hey, any single Devils fans out there? You could join that Facebook group, but also you could come to our live events. We got 2 back-to-back. One at PJ Ryan's, October 4th. Got to plug that in there, where we're going to be at the home opener, and October 5th at Grasshopper in Morristown. And also, Melissa, see Grasshopper off the green. I actually spelled it out so people can actually read it, because all those Irish logos are a little bit tough. And actually,
what are you trying to say, Boyle?
No, I'm just saying that their logos, and you should know this as a graphic designer, it's sometimes tough to read because of the font.
Because people try to use that they're like, hey, we're a bunch of dudes and we own a bar and it's an Irish sounding bar. Let's put everything in Celtic, because that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, it's like sometimes people overthink things. That's what happens, Sam. And when you get into designing things, people overthink it all the time.
Yep, I agree. You come up with great designs for people, and all of a sudden they laugh, and then they love the simplest design.
Yeah, and it's the most annoying thing in the world. I designed something for somebody one time. Not to get off on a tangent. We'll get back to hockey in a second, because actually I have a very good hockey question for everybody on the Facebook group and everybody else. I designed something for somebody, and they wanted this picture that they drew when they were in middle school, and I was like, it doesn't work. So I drew this beautiful design and said, here you go. I think this would be great for your company. It's a great logo, blah, blah, blah. And they went with the thing they drew in middle school, and it was a horrible idea. But anyways, we look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? And they just signed Mitch Marner to a big contract extension. Huge contract extension. And there's 2 questions that I have for everybody that's on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on everywhere, wherever we are. The first question being, you look at a contract like that, and you think that it's going to have implications of what Hall's contract is going to be, being that they have the same guy representing them. So you would think that he's going to be probably in the same ballpark. So probably $11 million a year, right? You look at a team like Toronto, they're completely strapped. I think they're either up against the cap completely after they put the guys on LTIR. But what can we pry away from them? What do you want to take away from it, the Toronto Maple Leafs? If you're Ray Shero, what do you walk up to the door and you knock on the door and you say, hey, listen, you guys are in a bad situation. We'll take, I don't know, William Nylander off your hands for Joe Schmo and a bag of pucks. What do you think that the Devils can try to get out of Toronto? And do you think it's a situation that we're going to find ourselves in with Taylor Hall asking probably about $11 million a year? Good leading question. Thanks.
Complimenting yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, nice call on Mike McLeod. Nice call on Mikey McLeod, Beer Baron.
Yeah, it was quiet. I didn't know what to do. You guys paused for a second. I got confused.
All right, so wow. Well,
so if you're the Devils, you take. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I I don't think you can make that decision until you officially sign Taylor Hall. Like you can't. You have to base whatever you're going to go for off of whatever you sign Taylor Hall. Our cap space currently is 6.4 million. That's our current cap space, according to Cap Friendly. So I got to assume that's about as up to date as possible. It would all have to be determined on that before you can even say, oh, we can try to take this guy or that guy, because Toronto absolutely has cap trouble. They've got none. In fact, they're over by quite a bit. I want to say it's 12 million. I mean, looking at what their roster is, and as much as I would love to just answer this with a, what I would love, but a realistic, we have to sign Taylor Hall first and then move forward from there. I mean, if we can get Nylander, that would be fantastic, but we got to be able to fit him in, and we need to fit Taylor Hall in first. Now, the only advantage about we may be able to get Taylor Hall for less is his injury, and going forward, that is a hard injury to come back from. So I really can't give you a good answer, because we have to sign him before we can even think about, who else we can fit on the team. If we had a plethora of space, that'd be different, but we don't.
Supposedly there's talks have been picking up, and there's been a lot of talk that there's this kind of domino needed to fall first. So Marner needed to kind of get that situation figured out, and then his agent who's Taylor Hall's agent, could sit down with the Devils and kind of have a conversation, because there was no rush. There was no big elephant in the room where like you need to sign this contract or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to what Taylor Hall was saying, I think it was like about a week ago, whatever it was, a couple days ago, a week ago, who gives a crap? When everybody came back and reported to camp, and all the reporters were basically saying like, what's going on? Are you gonna sign? Are you guys talking? Blah, 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 blah. And his answer was basically like, look, there's no big rush. There's no rush. We'll kind of like, it's my agent will handle it. And if it gets done, it gets done. I want to focus on just playing hockey. He's saying all the right things. He's been saying all the right things the entire summer. And you could never fault him for saying like, hey, listen, I need to see this team get better. He's seen the team get better. And he basically said it's playoff or bust. That's his mentality about this team. It's playoffs or bust. And I don't think he's going to sign a contract anytime soon. I think he's going to ride it all the way to the end, which sucks in two ways, because if you're Ray Shero, and even if the Devils are making a strong push for the playoffs and they're in a good situation, you still have some teams that are definitely ahead of us. So you have to roll the dice. Are you going to roll the dice and say, you know what, Taylor, we're going to roll with you all the way to the end? And at the end of the season, you can either roll with us or you're gonna burn us. It's a crappy situation to be in, but I have a bad feeling that unfortunately it's going to be something that's going to happen this year. He's not going to sign until the end of the year, and if he does, he does, and if he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah, and you got to think that he also needs to see what his knee can do again, and how he reacts within a game as well. So, he's going to want to prove that he's going to be worth that big contract, and his agent may be, telling him to wait due to the fact that, show him what you can still do and earn that money. But, we know these agents are not always, they're willing to sell you whatever they can for, as much as possible. So he may be also pushing like, hey, you better do this. You better do this. So who knows? I definitely think that his injury could work in the Devils' favor as far as getting him for a little bit less, based on the fact of what the desire from other teams is, knowing his injury and knowing what the history of those, returning from those injuries is. So it may also just work. It may also just work out for us as well.
Also, in the news today, that the NHLPA put out a
great news today. Great news today.
Put out a statement that they do not want to reopen the collective bargaining agreement You
Yeah.
read these press releases. Obviously, it's very diplomatic, but I was a little surprised because thinking Donald Fear and his track record of fighting hard for the Players Association, whether it was baseball or the NHL, and whether it's strike or lockouts or whatever. I'm kind of glad that they didn't put the fans through the ringer again, where
Yeah.
there's still 3 more years left on the deal. Let it play out, and and I don't know how that bodes well for Taylor Hall, but you know what? There's not going to be a work stoppage in the next 3 years, so get that big contract now. Get that big contract now because the rules do change in a few years from now. The other thing too, you talk about the injury and this and that. Worst case scenario for Taylor Hall, he re-injures the knee this season without a new contract, and it's severe, and he's out again. Are there other teams out there that are stupid to throw him 13, 15, I'm being silly here, 11 to $13 million despite, injuring the knee twice, and say, hey, the Devils want a discount, but hey, we value you. There's not many teams that could do that where he would probably want to jump ship. But at some point, I know probably Taylor Hall's thinking to himself with his agent, what kind of legacy he wants to leave in the NHL.
Yeah.
The ultimate legacy is to win Stanley Cups and be the leader. Right now, he's the leader. Yeah.
I think his focus is, I think when he was in Edmonton, there was a lot of other things that were going on, and there was a lot of speculation of like what he was as a professional and this, that, and the other thing. But I think his focus is winning. The one thing that I love about the NHL is a lot of guys, their main purpose is winning, and a lot of guys put themselves in situations where they don't give a crap because they just want to win a Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? And you see that in a lot of other sports, but there's a lot of other, like, I don't know. I don't want to get into semantics of like the differences between like the NFL and the NHL and all that other kind of crap, but at the same time, like, to me, the NHL, like, there's this need to be a Stanley Cup champion. Like, you're not fulfilled. Even you could have all the great numbers in the world, but you're not fulfilled. Look at Alex Ovechkin. The dude put up. He's probably one of the best or the greatest hockey players that we've ever seen in our lifetime, and will ever see. But he wasn't fulfilled until he won a Stanley Cup. And now that he's got that one, he's got that desire to win another. And I feel like that's where Taylor Hall is. And you can't fault him for that. You can't say like, oh, F this guy, he wants to go home and play with his family, or if he wants to go to his hometown and this, that, and the other thing. This dude wants to win. And if he leaves us because he wants to win and he goes to a contender, so be it. We have the difference between the Devils before and the Devils now is if Taylor Hall leaves right now, we still have the structure and the building blocks to build a championship team. It's not going to break our back if he leaves. And I hope he understands that eventually. Like, he looks in the mirror and he goes, oh man, I don't have to be that MVP this year. I don't have to put it all on my back and score 27 games in a row or 28 games in a row, whatever the hell it is. That he can just be a part of the team and the team is going to carry itself.
Yeah, he'll just score. He'll just score 16 games in a row instead of 25 games in a row.
Hey, I'll go for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if the Devils have built this team so that we can start to win. And that is without a doubt, that is different than last summer, but last summer was totally different because there weren't pieces available out there. But I think every move that the Devils have done this summer has been building towards that winning season. And potentially also, I believe that they were in contact with Taylor Hall as they were making these signings. It's kind of like look at what we're doing. We're building a team. We're building a team. So, this all points to hopefully the Devils are building this team so that he is a major piece, not the only piece, but a major piece to that puzzle to winning. And, hopefully bring, more Stanley Cups to New Jersey, where all of us believe that the Stanley Cup belongs. And we
That's
have a
right.
super young core. And if these kids can grow up together and just become a dominant force, I mean, you gotta look at all those, dominant teams from years past. They were all a core of players over and over and over again. But for some reason, the only ones that didn't work were Edmonton, and they still don't work. So the Devils are building, and I think everything the Devils have done this summer has built towards them saying to Taylor Hall, look, we're building this team. You are a part of this team. You are a piece of this puzzle. Sign here and don't have to start over again.
And you know what? There's a lot of people that say if we need to use him as a trade chip, use him as a trade chip. And to talk to my cousin, yes, I am reading all your comments about how much you hate our goaltender and how much you really want to get rid of him. And that this is a bone of contention that we have. But honestly, this is a team that I feel like is going to make some waves. Is going to make some some moves this year. And I feel like playoff or bust, that should be on a t-shirt, and we should just walk around wearing that proudly across our chest,
Oh, is that a t-shirt opportunity? Is that
Hey, playoff or bust, baby.
I actually have a new t-shirt that we can kind of segue into that.
Yeah, let me
We don't plan that kind of stuff. It just happens naturally.
Yeah, let me help Shorts guy out here. Hold on a sec. Let me get all the graphics, this and that. I'll keep the audio on. Shorts guy, I'm gonna cut into you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's playoff or bust. However, in order to get there, you have to believe.
I like it.
You have to believe that the Devils are going to do it. You have to believe that it's playoff or bust. You have to believe that Stanley Cup glory is coming back to New Jersey. So these are available because you have to believe.
And where do you get them, Shorts guy? Where do you get that beautiful t-shirt?
You get them at sgapparel.bigcartel.com.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And do part of the proceeds goes towards our $35 million jet that we're trying to raise money for? I'm not sure.
Because if we get that jet, then we can start jet setting all over the world and start bringing our mobile studio and basically broadcasting everywhere we go.
Yeah, the mobile studio is going to be amazing this season because we're taking the show on the road. And remember when we did that podcast from my car after a Devils Rangers
That was a good time.
That was a really
real good time.
Wasn't it near Christmas like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I had that ugly Christmas suit,
That
and I had
crazy
like
suit,
and I had like a beer at the game.
Just one.
Maybe I had.
You look like Conor McGregor.
Sober.
I did look like Conor McGregor. Yeah, I maybe had 2 beers that game. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But now that we have the mobile
stop.
studio, one of the places I would love to do it, if any of you high net worth Devils fans out there are watching and listening in, I love to do it at the Hunt in Far Hills. You know what the Hunt is in Far Hills, guys?
Too classy. I got to wear a tie to that event. What?
Nah, you don't have to do that. We'll go at some sponsor's tent.
$5 to know what I was just referencing.
These tents are, I think it costs companies $200,000 for catering and sponsoring the event. Just to have a tent.
I will have to wear a tie.
Yeah, no, you don't have to wear a tie. Just wear your Devils jersey because I'll pitch them on that the Let's Go Devils podcast will do a live podcast. We'll bring Grant Marshall. He's a classy guy.
He is.
We'll bring
all the way.
Grant.
Very classy guy.
Yeah, very very classy. He'll schmooze with our high profile clients. Yeah, we'll do a podcast in the middle of a field. We can also let's ask the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live and the Periscope.
Rockaway is where we should do another podcast live.
Yes.
Tavern on the Rocks. Tavern on the Rocks. Beautiful establishment.
Yes, beautiful establishment and beautiful in the heart of downtown Rockaway. Beautiful area. Enormous parking lot back there as well. So that's definitely helpful. We're actually Yeah, I think we got a couple minutes left on the podcast, but we're back, guys.
We are
Facebook
back.
Live. You can find our podcast at letsgodevils.com. We're doing micro podcasts. We're doing all sorts of stuff, but this is our last voyage from the Bunker Studio in somewhere in beautiful New Jersey, which our studio is going to be moved into actually a real bomb-proof network facility in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And there will be Let's Go Devils podcast no matter what. And if, God forbid, a hurricane hits or with this, that, we got the mobile studio so we can, report what's going on in New Jersey, but also report about the New Jersey Devils. We got our priorities.
We do.
Right.
We do.
And, but yeah, it's, we are definitely going to probably close the
Definitely
show.
going
Right
to
now.
probably.
Yeah, sorry. That's what happens when you're. That's what happens.
We will definitely
when you're
maybe.
multitasking. It's definitely
Leaving everyone in
what happens.
suspense, making everyone
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Just trying to cue up the music. I don't hear you. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Hey.
All right. So let's recap. We're back, season 3. New announcements today. We got the mobile studio. This is our last voyage from the Bunker Studio in somewhere in beautiful New Jersey. We're moving it to a bomb-proof facility in Hillsborough, New Jersey, that could survive a nuclear attack. Also, with that, we're taking the podcast on the road. Home opener. The hashtag We Are the Fun Tour. PJ Ryan's October 4th. Starts at 5 p.m. Live pregame podcast. Lots of good stuff. Also, we will be October 5th. Live pregame podcast and viewing party at the Grasshopper off the Green in beautiful downtown Morristown, New Jersey, for New Jersey takes on the Buffalo Sabres. Saturday, October 5th, back-to-back live events. Special guests, Bruce Driver, Grant Marshall, 2 Stanley Cup champions. And also, we hooked up with the DJ. DJ Shelley will help spin the records for the hashtag We Are the Fun Tour. Guys, it's a privilege. I also want to say, again, a couple things on a fun and serious note. Nick Villano, happy birthday. Happy 31st birthday. And guys, can't thank you, Nick, and Beer Baron and Short Sky Nick for the support. We had a little delay of season 3. It was supposed to be yesterday, but unforeseen circumstances. Just without giving detail, my mom's back from the hospital. She's okay, thankfully, and thanks for supporting, because what we do on the podcast and one of our mantras is family and health comes first before we do this podcast, and then we do the podcast. Everything else, takes a back seat. That's our third on our list, and I want to thank you guys for being supportive in the last 3 or 4 days.
Anytime, Sam. Anytime.
Yeah. So
family
as
first. We are family.
As I'm talking, also I'd like to thank the censor button. Gave us a lot of great laughs. We will be playing that throughout the season. We want to thank our audience, and also thank you guys at Facebook Live. Thank you, Cheryl Miller, Matt. Yes, she's okay. Thank you. Also, we hope to see you at our live events. Guys, next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be on. Yeah. And
we're back.
State of the Fan Address will be going at 9 p.m. Eastern with me and Nick Villano. Till next time, Devils fans, let's go Devils!